Pisces.
Hello Pisces, this is your November forecast for 2016. And listen, here I can see how you last month there in October were really putting a lot of effort into preparing yourself to take new steps, processing quite deeply. And then now this month, as we have both the Sun and Mercury in your 9th house, that allows you now to really see how far you can take it. The 9th house is all about higher education. It's about expanding your horizons. Whatever research you find yourself doing this month will really come and behoove you in December when these two planets move into your career house. Speaking about career, we got Venus and we got Saturn cruising through there right now. And Venus is already opening up to show you all the good work that you did here at September, October is now coming into fruition. I feel that Saturn is giving you some really good anchors, should I say, to really lock in what it is you're truly working at as far as your, not just hopes and dreams, your aspirations and your determination to get ahead. Venus rules love, it rules also money, so you can see that this month might even bring you a little bit more in, which is great. Venus, as it's moving through Sagittarius, is such a happy place to have Venus. That Sagittarian energy is always very optimistic, it's enthusiastic, it's all about happy-go-lucky, feeling good, right? And so you could feel romantically too this month that you are very much more open and playful, having that set as well. Mars is in Capricorn, and I always think that Mars loves this area because Mars is your designated onboard physical energy and drive, and Capricorn is always about drive. It's about climbing higher and higher. Think about those mountain goats, right? Nothing is too steep. So speaking of steep, all of October you are pretty much really reeling yourself in, keeping yourself focused and dedicated on your goals, and it's in the 11th house, which has to do with your hopes and dreams, but also groups and organizations. So I can see many of you Pisceans, you have been working towards this angle, and see, Mars was really powered up here in October when it had its conjunction to Pluto. Now Pluto is nuclear, right? Talk about really refueling Mars, which is so active in and of itself. So Mars has a 2-year cycle, and so for right now here in October, before even coming into November, you will come to see that whatever this switch is, it is really sending you off on a supersonic speed, right? And you will be orbiting for the next 2 years with that empowerment that you just received. So here in November, you will still have a little bit, let's say a week, 10 days, for you to utilize the best power of having it in Capricorn so that you can attain certain of these goals. But then Mars is going to be moving into your 12th house for the latter part of November, and then it's just needing to kind of rest up a little bit. 12th house is all about working behind the scenes, so that could be internally, and it could also just be working behind the scenes, not for others to know quite yet, but that will emerge when Mars goes over your ascendants into your 1st house. You'll re-emerge, but that's down the road. That is not here now, November. But that's how that rolls. We have Jupiter still in your 8th house doing wonderful things. I think that you are really looking ahead long term as far as where your income goes. We're not talking about the income coming in, but where your savings go from your income. Looking towards retirement funds, investment funds, so forth. How can you grow that portion of your income? You'll have that late summer of 2016. 17. I think I've mentioned that before, and we probably will be coming back to it before we do reach next summer. But in the overall here with Mars and Venus doing wonderful things for you in your career, within how you're interacting with groups, I think that is something that you will come to see how it's going to unfold in wonderful ways here in November. We have the full moon on the 14th, and that's going to show up in Taurus, and that's your third house, Pisces. So this should be a great time for you to express yourself. If you have any talks or presentations you're needing to do, this would be a great time to get a spotlight to come across to those who you are presenting to. Taurus gives us security. It gives us the feeling of knowing our self-worth. It rules that second house of income too, so some of you could probably come to see how that will connect as well. The new moon we have in Sagittarius, and for you, Pisces, that is your career house. It will be on the 29th, and for you, your intentions this month should be career related. However, and whatever it is you're working on, you can actually come to ignite it with this new moon, which will carry the signature of this energy for the next 12 months until that new moon will show up again there for you. So make that work, right? So listen, before I do start off on the monthly calendar for the major aspects, if you wonder about my camera angle, I thought I would address it this month because there has been comments and speculations. So watch the end of this video. I'll give you a little insight as to how that works. But listen, we're starting off here, top of the month, November 1st, and this we have the Sun and your ruler Neptune in a beautiful golden triangle. This is a great aspect for inspiration, spirituality, love and romance, all those good things that Neptune can give us. On the 2nd, we have Mercury and Pluto in a 6th house. So any communications you're having on this day, you're pretty much getting your point across very, very clearly. Pluto is all about transformation and cutting to the core of any matter. So this should be a great day for you if you have important meetings and so forth, or having something of deeper depth that you're needing to discuss with anybody. On the 4th, we have what I always love, that is Venus and Uranus in a golden trine. Now Venus is love Pisces, and it also rules money, of course. And it's coming in with that Uranian unexpected, oh my God, surprise. So for you, Venus being in your 10th house for career, there could be good news coming from it. It's between the 10th and the 2nd house for money, income, career. Great day on November 4th. On the 7th, I feel you're going to get some confirmation or feedback or validation for whatever talk you had on the 2nd. Why? Because now the Sun is filling the same degree that Mercury had when you had that discussion. And so for you, it feels more like a sense of empowerment. On the 15th, you're really rocking and rolling here with Mercury and Mars. Your mindset and your physical drive are totally aligned to accomplish certain things on the 15th. So I feel it's a very, not just busy day, but where you're able to really get to where you are wanting to go. On the 18th, there's a little hiccup as far as communication. Mercury and Neptune are not really seeing head-to-head here, and misunderstandings, miscommunications, those things can be a little difficult. So we really need to hear what people are saying to us so we don't misunderstand. But then again, we also need to be quite clear about how we're communicating so others don't misunderstand us. But on the 19th, Venus is coming to save the situation. They're coming in with a nice aspect to Neptune there. So I think that will clear things up. So it's not like a long-lasting consequence. On the 19th, we have, no, I'm sorry, on the 22nd and 23rd, we have now new beginnings, new initiations. whatever you're thinking you're wanting to start, whether it is within your own business or if it's in the career field that you're already in. Mercury and Saturn coming together in a conjunction. It's an annual meeting that they do have, and this I feel can give you the roots and the anchor which Saturn wants to secure for you. So pay attention to what's going on here. And Mercury's also here supported by Jupiter, which is wanting to expand upon whatever it is you're trying now to lock in, all right? So great days on the 22nd, 23rd for your career and expanding it. On the 24th, well, here we're coming into the holidays, and I just want to give you a little heads up here, Pisces, that it's going to be a little special this year. Why? It is because Jupiter and Pluto are not seeing eye to eye. There's a square there. And what that can bring about is people's sense of opinions that might surface, and not everybody is in agreement. This can bring the righteousness feeling out in Jupiter, and then Pluto might just be rubbing somebody the wrong way, and then we have reactions. So it's better to be the observer rather than the participant when this takes place, because it could also be a group type energy. But on the 25th, I do see that Venus is going to move in to a conjunction to Pluto, so that's empowering this Plutonian energy on the one hand, but then again also trying to make it right what was maybe quote-unquote wrong there on the 24th. But it's a little between a rock and a hard place as well, because Venus too is squaring off on Jupiter. So we have a couple of days that could feel a little bit uneasy this year around the holiday. But then come again, 26th, Mercury is now flowing with Uranus, and Uranus is giving some kind of an unexpected surprise or bit of news. Headline news, and I think that too will be good for you, especially after these couple of days where it's been a little wavy, right? And then of course the new moon here on the 29th, which is, as we mentioned, in your 10th house for career. That's how we're going to end off the month on a good note, to project our hopes, our dreams, our visions, and especially with the things, the goals that you're working for, which aren't always just career. The 10th house is also personal goals and development, so it's not always just career. So this is what we have here for you now in November, Pisces, and now you could just listen here at the end where, if you're interested to know a little bit more about that camera angle, all right? So I'll see you in December. Have a good one now. Listen, I thought I would address the comments that you guys have had and speculated about over a long time, and that is, why do I look this direction and into the camera this way? It has a couple of reasons, and of course for me, I'm more all about the information rather than the camera, but just to let you know, I have two very important reasons for why I sit the way I do. For one, I want to keep in touch with you on the camera, but then I have my board here with the transits, the dates, and so forth, because not all that information is stored mentally. But there's a deeper reason, and that is the third point. You, the board, and then the midpoint. Now, the midpoint for me is when I access the future, okay, when I put it together. And you can try this for yourself as well, because, see, if you look to the left, you're processing the past. That's where your memories go down memory lane. That's the past, that side of our brain. When we look to the right, we're accessing the future, right? That's where you go when you're speculating what will happen now in the future. You will go this direction with your eyes. So for me, I channel my information when I look in this direction. So for me, rather than sitting straight on, then it works for me. My information flows better. It's how I roll. Now, if I was to talk to you without thinking or considering the future, then I would look straight on like this, because then I'm just talking about the here and now, whatever, and looking at you. But as soon as I psychically start working, well, then I got to go like this to get that information in the future and download it from there. So that's why, no mystery, but now you know. See you next time.